This was uncovered last year and still needs to be dug into more extensively. Although I have to say the Daily Caller did great work here. Arizona Republican Sen. John McCain in 2012 turned over nearly $9 million in unspent funds from his failed 2008 presidential campaign to a new foundation bearing his name, the McCain Institute for International Leadership. At the time that happened, it caught my attention. It sounded suspiciously like money laundering. But it gets even more suspicious when you see that it is connected to Soros and Clinton. The institute is intended to serve as a legacy for McCain and is dedicated to advancing human rights, dignity, democracy and freedom. It is a tax-exempt non-profit foundation with assets valued at $8.1 million and associated with Arizona State University. The institution, despite its noble claims, is a conflict of interest for McCain. Even though McCain will not return to the Senate and is on the verge of passing away from terminal brain CR, he is still the chairman of the Senate Committee on Armed Services. Whether McCain is alive or not, the institute will continue and will be a factor in politics for the foreseeable future. McCain's institute bears a striking resemblance to the Clinton Global Initiative with its wealthy donors and McCain's leadership. The CGI annually commingled special interests and powerful political players in alleged pay-to-play schemes. It is feared that this institute may do some of the same. It has accepted as much as $100,000 in donations from billionaire liberal activist funder George Soros and from Tineo, a for-profit company co-founded by Doug Band, former President Bill Clinton's bagman. Tineo is the driving force that helped enrich Clinton through lucrative speaking and business deals. It gets even murkier. Bloomberg reported in 2016 that there was a $1 million Saudi Arabian donation to the institute, a contribution the McCain Group has refused to explain publicly. They have also accepted at least $100,000 from a Moroccan state-run company tied to repeated charges of worker abuse and exploitation. The McCain Institute has also received at least $100,000 from the Pivotal Foundation, which was created by Francis Najafi, who owns the Pivotal Group, a private equity and real estate firm. The Pivotal Foundation has over the last several years given at least $205,000 to the National Iranian American Council, NIAC, which has been a vocal advocate for the Iranian nuclear deal the Obama administration negotiated. Trending: mother lost her son in Afghanistan and never got call from Obama, but look what she just got from Melania per the Daily Caller. The NIAC website claims the group is a non-partisan, non-profit organization dedicated to strengthening the voice of Iranian Americans and promoting greater understanding between the American and Iranian people. But NIAC President Trita Parsi has long been an advocate for Iran, including demanding in May 2017 that President Donald Trump and officials in his administration cease questioning the integrity of a nuclear deal. The NIAC is Iran's lobbyists in Washington, charged Aresh Salat, the Washington representative of the Democratic Party of Iranian Kurdistan. People inside of Iran know them as their lobbyists in Washington, D.C., Salat told TED-Conf. The NIAC does not file as a foreign agent under the Foreign Agents Registration Act, nor does it register as a lobbyist with Congress. Yet in May 2013, Parsi spoke to a packed Capitol Hill meeting sponsored by Minnesota Democratic Rep. Keith Ellison to argue in favor of the nuclear deal. Ellison was the first Muslim elected to Congress and is also deputy chairman of the Democratic National Committee. The pattern is very similar to the Clinton Foundation, where foreign governments and foreign interests were throwing a lot of money in the hopes of trying to buy influence. And yet, no one is questioning McCain about all of these donations. It's just like people haven't looked anywhere deep enough into the dealings of both George Soros and Hillary Clinton over donations. Lawrence Noble, general counsel for the Campaign Legal Center, said that accepting contributions in the name of a sitting senator like McCain raises troubling issues. In terms of the ethics of it, it does raise a broad question of people trying to get goodwill with the elected official, he said. From a personal standpoint, I'd rather not see these entities exist. Remember, McCain supports many progressive causes. Charles Ortle, a retired Wall Street investment banker and philanthropy law expert, pointed out that high government officials such as John McCain, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and President Barack Obama should not get involved with vehicles like these, where substantial sums can be funneled over time in ways that at best reeks of impropriety and at worst are public corruption. The donations in some instances seem to totally contradict McCain's stances on human rights and national security. If you are against the Iran deal and torture, why would you accept money from those who support it? Another good example is Morocco. The institute accepted more than $100,000 from OCP, a Moroccan state-owned phosphate company operating in the Western Sahara, territory which Morocco seized in 1975. The North African country has since occupied the region by force in defiance of UN resolutions and legal declarations by other international bodies. Morocco is also a notorious abuser of human rights. The Western Sahara holds half of the world's phosphate reserves. Used to make fertilizer, phosphate is called Morocco's white gold. The King of Morocco was also a major donor to the Clinton Foundation. Hillary Clinton personally accepted $12 million from the king in return for holding a CGI regional meeting in the country. OCP also was a major sponsor of the CGI meeting and Bill Clinton was the featured speaker. And McCain has nothing but praise for the King of Morocco. In 2011, he said that the country was a positive example to governments across the Middle East and North Africa. It is rumored that McCain and Soros have been friends ever since the Keating 5 scandal over savings and loan corruption. The Savings and Loan Bank chairman, Charles Keating, paid $1.3 million to bribe 5 members of Congress to interfere with government regulators on behalf of the savings bank. McCain is said to have been one of the Keating 5 and he never answered for the bribe. The experience terrified McCain and he became a vigorous advocate of campaign finance reform and in the process reportedly became friends with Soros. McCain claims he has no involvement with the institute, saying, "I'm proud that the institute is named after me, but I have nothing to do with it." Does anyone believe that? When it comes to Soros, Clinton, and McCain, jailbirds of a feather should flock to Jether it.